evening. Hello, hello. Welcome to West High School. We're so glad that you're here tonight for the district strategic meeting. It's going to be a night where we can listen to your input and be able to go talk about the future of Knox County Schools. So we're excited that you're here. We appreciate you taking the time for this. This is very important. As you all know, we want to make our Knox County schools the best schools around. And so in order to do that, we need to have input from you all, and I appreciate you coming. I want to thank our West High Jazz Band V2 for doing the walk-in music tonight, and we, again, appreciate that you all are coming. I want to introduce you to our superintendent, Mr. Bob Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, and good evening. We appreciate you very much for coming out on a rainy, wintry evening, so thank you. As Ashley said, Bob Thomas, Superintendent, Knox County Schools, and before I tell you just a little bit about myself, I know we've got some elected officials here I'd like to introduce, starting with Commissioner Evelyn Gill from 1st District, and appreciate you being here, so thank you so much. And Kenley, where's Kenley Kuntz, our Board of Education student rep. So thank you, Kenley, for being here, and a student at West High School. So that's okay. And Miss Lynn Fugate, who is a Board Education representative for the 4th District. So thank you, Miss Fugate, for being here. And I don't think I've left anybody out. I know we got a small crowd, but anyway, just to tell you, just some of you I know me and have heard me, and it probably sounds very boring to you, but those of you that don't know me, I started my 45th year in this work of education, and very fortunate to have started in the Knoxville City Schools and continued with Knoxville City until the merger, and then been with Knox County ever since. So I feel very blessed that I will have an opportunity to actually finish where I started. So I just look forward to the work that we're doing. Again, I've been a teacher, been an assistant principal, been a principal, been a central office administrator, and the board just 9 months ago gave me the opportunity to serve as superintendent, and I'll have to say I've enjoyed this. I feel like it did come a little later in life. I might not look like I'm an old person, but on up in the years, but I have a few years left, a few good years left, and I plan to give those to what I have to Knox County and to our students. Our students are our first priority. Might say really they're our only priority. Of course, we do considerate of our employees as well. Without our teachers and our principals, we couldn't do the work that we do. And we have a great school system. Can we be better? Absolutely, we can be better. And that's what you're here to help us do tonight, is to help tell us, okay, these are the things that maybe we think you're doing very well. These are some of the things we wish you would consider, maybe could do a little bit better, and then maybe what's the vision? What is the vision you have for Knox County Schools? And we'll be telling you a little bit more about that. But I am just so appreciative of the fact that you're here to help us and to help us plan the direction that we'll be going over the next few years. And so we've got kind of a hard stop time, 8 o'clock. That doesn't mean we have to be here till 8 o'clock, but we want to be mindful and respectful of your time as well. And I'll offer my time after 8 o'clock. If you wish to spend time with me or speak with me, I'll be glad to stay around as long as anybody wishes to stay around. So having said that, we'll get the program started, and I'll turn control of the program over to Ms. Fugate. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. I just want to say real quickly, the Board of Education does a strategic plan. It had been being a 5-year strategic plan, but the world moves a lot faster. So we are in the 4th year of our strategic plan and decided that we're going to move to doing a 3-year strategic plan. And we're kicking that off right now, trying to have it done and approved by the board this summer. Part of the strategic planning process, of course, is community input. Faculty will have input, students will have input, and then the Board of Education adopts the strategic plan. What we need for you to do tonight, and you have the lucky advantage of actually getting to talk to people and share your ideas and bounce ideas off of one another, but we also want to encourage you to pass this along on all that social media stuff that everybody does To drive people to the Knox County Schools website. On the website, there is a link for people to answer the questions you're going to answer tonight online. We want to get as much input as we can possibly get from as many different people. So I want to say that to you, to say just showing up at a meeting is not the only way that we will get input. So understand there are going to be lots of voices to this process. Also, for your friends that this night just didn't work, it's not a rule that you only go to the meeting in your district. The meetings are all the same, so explore Knox County, drive across another part of the county and go to another meeting for your friends that couldn't be here. I learned from several of my friends here at West High School, this is the night that that they're planning the soiree, the big fundraiser for the West High School Foundation. So pass that along to some of those people. There's always a conflict. With that, I just want to say that I do appreciate you coming out. Jeannie Delaney, who does all things community for us, is our community liaison, will tell us how this process is going to work. And I also want to thank the community volunteers who have agreed to facilitate these breakout sessions. They're not staff, they're not paid by anybody. They are people who love our community and have agreed to volunteer their time to help us make Knox County Schools the best we can be. So with that, Jeannie.
Thank you, Lynn. Yeah, we may have a small group tonight, but a mighty group. So we're anxious to hear your thoughts. The way we're going to do that is in just a moment break you into two groups. I'll call one the adult or the more mature group, and the other one being the student group. And I'll tell you about our facilitators in just a moment. The purpose of not sort of doing a town hall type meeting, but rather break you up into smaller groups is so everyone gets heard, every thought gets recorded, and that's absolutely what's going to happen tonight. As you will see, we have facilitators that are going to help make sure that everyone gets heard, and you all have addressed the questions that we're going. I'll tell you what those are in a minute. And then we have scribes who will be rapidly writing down everything you say. All of that will eventually go back to the Board of Education for their use, and the superintendent, of course, as they begin to work toward the next 3 years. So I want to thank our facilitators who came out tonight as well. I know it's the first week back at school, so thanks to you who came out tonight. So we have 4 questions, really 3, one sort of a catch-all. First question is, what is Knox County Schools doing well? What are you pretty satisfied with? The second question is sort of the flip. What could we be doing better? What could we improve on? Third question is, are there things you'd like to see Knox County Schools doing in the future? Sort of thinking ahead. And then the fourth area, the facilitators will ask toward the end, are there just any other thoughts, any other things we need to know? All right, so for you parents/community participants tonight, your facilitator will be Andre Conti. He will be out in the lobby with a big number 1. He'll take you to room number 1. And for our wonderful students, it will be, where's Mark? No, it's actually going to be Mark. Mike, you get off the hook tonight. Mark Benson, who is technically room number 4, but the student group. It's also marked that way. So Mark, put your big sign up so they can see where you are. So you all ready? Meet them out in the lobby, and we'll give you about 35, 40 minutes, and we'll come around and bring you back in here. I sat in for a few minutes on the sessions, and I have to say they were very robust. I thought they went very, 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 very well, and hope you did too. I know our superintendent is anxious to now hear the outcomes of your discussion, some of your themes, your consistent sort of thoughts. And by the way, if you think of something else before you leave tonight that's just a burning thing you want us to know, grab an index card from me and just give it back to me, and it'll become part of our notes, okay? All right, which group would like to go first? I know they both have their reporters. The student group would like to go first, so come down front.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Through our short meeting that we had in the classroom, we established a couple of points, things that Knox County schools are doing well and things that could be improved upon. So the first question, it was regarding things that the Knox County is doing well. And we agreed that the faculty is helpful. They provide a good learning environment through encouragement and dedication to their jobs. They're extremely dedicated and motivated. They make learning interactive through out-of-school hours and their availability through multiple sites and emails and Remind and all that stuff. One thing, or a couple of things that the Knox County could improve on is communicate and promote opportunities for students during the summer or year-round. This includes options for electives at middle school or summer research opportunities. The second one is build a network of support for teachers to plan field trips, since it's really hard for teachers to do that themselves. And also build network of support for students through mentorship between, let's say, high school seniors and high school freshmen. So they'll be more familiar with the high school experience. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you. You can leave those right here if you want. Okay. All right. Our mature group reporter.
Okay, hi, I'm Catherine. I'm representing the parents, adults portion of this breakout session. We identified 4 themes in our discussion. The first theme that we kind of covered a lot was consistency. So when we have policies being set at the KCS level, we want to ensure that those policies are very detailed and that they're being passed down to each individual school and being implemented accurately, particularly on matters of discipline and social media. The next big theme was access and addressing disparities. So ensuring that all students in KCS have access to the AP and IB programs, ensuring that they all have access to sports, clubs, and that they're all being treated well by their teachers, obviously. Which kind of leads me into our next theme, which was diversity. So diversity of staff, diversity of teaching styles, diversity of the resources that we have in our schools. So social workers, guidance counselors, as opposed to maybe more disciplinarians. Which kind of led us to the thought that maybe KCS needs a department of diversity to help us implement some of these policies. So our last theme was accountability. So holding underachieving teachers and principals accountable, holding the PTSO accountable, and holding our resources accountable. And on the flip side of accountability, we do want to recognize that a lot of teachers and staff at KCS do a very good job, and we want to recognize them for that, either through social media recognition or through increased pay. And that was it for us.
Fantastic. You all made those very concise and very compelling, and I thank you for that. Before I turn it over to the superintendent to wrap us up, let me just thank you again for coming. Again, it was maybe a small but a mighty group tonight. Let me thank our facilitators and scribes again. I could tell you all did a great job and helped get a lot of this rich input. So I will now turn it back over to Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Jeannie. Before I do close out, I know we had another board member to come in that I would like to introduce, Ms. Jennifer Owen, 2nd District School Board member, and appreciate you being here with us this evening, Ms. Owen, so thank you. And I had an opportunity to stand on this very stage over 9 or 10 months ago, I guess, and brings back memories as the board was in their decision-making process for superintendent, and did get to talk about 3 priorities, and those priorities were increasing student achievement, building a positive culture in our school district, and eliminating disparity. So what I've heard tonight from the students as well as from the group here, that the things that we talked about fit fit very nicely, I think, into those three priorities. So, as I said earlier, we really have a great school system, but we can do better, and we can work towards increasing that student achievement and building that positive culture and eliminating those disparities. Those are the three things I would like to see us do, and I know the board, I think, feels the same way, feels very strongly about those priorities, and that we're on the right track to try to accomplish that. So again, I appreciate you so much for being here this evening and coming out. I know it's not cold outside, but it's wet, so appreciate you coming out this evening and sharing your thoughts with us, and we look forward to hearing from the other community members. And then, as Ms. Fugate said, on the website, feel free to respond on the website as well. So we'll be getting all this data and presenting it back to the board and coming up with a plan that I think will move our school system forward for the benefits of our students, because we want to be sure that we're providing the very best educational opportunities for our students so that they can be prepared when they leave K-12 to go and do exactly what it is and be successful in whatever it is that they wish to do, whether that's a career or college or military. So we look forward to just accomplishing those goals. So again, we'll get you out of here early. So thank you again very much for attending tonight, and this will conclude our program. Thank you. Bye.